I'm back. Sorry it took a little bit of time. It was pitch black and my parents had the door open, so I had to like sneak by without the lights on. Guys, I'm also thinking in the future, maybe what I should do, even though it's gonna be a little bit tough, is when I'm in Switzerland, maybe I should make the streams earlier. Like instead of like streaming at 10, I'll stream at 9. Cause like yes, for you guys it will be a different time zone wise. It will be an hour difference, right? But for me, because in the UK, when I'm in the UK, I stream at 9 o'clock for myself, and then when I read, it's like usually it ends at 1 in the morning. But when I'm here, it usually ends up being 2 in the morning, right? So maybe in the future, not only SCP but also the gaming streams, when I'm in Switzerland, I might do like an hour early. Maybe. I'll think about it. I think it will just make a lot of things a lot more easier. But yeah, for now, let's keep on going. We have Asian McLeod. Is it McLeod, right? Yes. And we had them very recently. We had them with 2739, which I believe was the was the museum, like the museum with a bunch of anomalous items in it. Do what's best for you, thank you. Okay, I'll think about it, because at the end I also want it to make sense for everybody else. But I think it might be better for myself for sure. Alright, next SP called Silent Lamentation of a Clockwork Goddess. Fancy name. And Howard has said here that you can highlight black boxes to reveal hidden text. So we shall do exactly that. Here we go. Object class safe, special containment procedures. As someone on the same time zone as you right now, yeah, you go to sleep really late. I mean, that has been the case with me since I was like 15. That is something that sadly cannot be fixed anymore. Object class safe, special containment procedures, complete information regarding SCP-2783 is restricted to individuals with level 5 security clearance. Because even off stream, I like going to bed at 2 in the morning anyway. Physical access to SCP-2783 is likewise restricted to personnel with level 5 security clearance and requires overseer permission. Personnel assigned to SCP-2783 must undergo appropriate amnestic therapy upon reassignment. Exploration must be carried out by personnel qualified in basic extra-dimensional exploration procedures. Standard non-hostile environment exploration equipment and supplies are required for all explorations. Man-portable exploration drones, man-powered vehicles such as bicycles, and other surveying equipment may also be permitted on a case-by-case basis. SCP-2783 is an extra-dimensional anomaly accessible through the door of the former Laboratory 37 of the Artificial Intelligence Wing at Site 43. Let me actually look at that real quick. Oh, that looks cool. Oh, I've seen this before. Yeah. Makes sense. Individuals who cross the threshold of Laboratory 37 will be transported to a location outside of regular 3-dimensional space. Two footnotes right here. Laboratory 47 says such individuals will be referred to as subjects for the remainder of this article, and space machine exploration does not trigger this anomaly. Also of note is the fact that Laboratory 37 may only be accessed through remotely operated machines at this time. GPS tracking devices identify the location as existing in a tomb in southern Iraq. Foundation archaeologists have identified several artifacts connected to at least 2 previously undocumented pre-Mesopotamian civilization at this site. Joint Foundation area quarantine of the area was put into effect shortly after discovery. As a result of socio-political conditions in the region of the tomb, abandonment of the site and evacuation of personnel is currently under consideration. Remote monitoring of the location would continue in this contingency. No physical evidence of SCP-2783 has been uncovered at this location to date. The interior of SCP-2783 visually resembles a graveyard. Subject manifests inside of a fence approximately 1 meter past a gate. Walking through this gate returns subject to the artificial intelligence wing at Site 43. Subject have reported a variety of disparate, mutually exclusive conditions with SCP-2783. This disparity exists even when there are multiple subjects within SCP-2783. These disparities include climate and meteorological conditions within SCP-2783, generally conforming to contemporary seasonal conditions typical to the current subject's place of birth, or a locale that they strongly culturally identify with. All graves in SCP-2783 are near uniformly marked with markers again conforming to customs typical in the current subject's place of birth. Many subjects have noted an apparent similarities to military graveyards. All epitaphs and other markings are in the current subject's native language. All graves have to date remained consistently dedicated to the same or similar persons. Graves will always appear in square grids, 300 graves to a side, 90,000 graves per grid. For ease of documentation, grids are assigned a 2-letter designation with individual graves given a numeric designation. For a full map of the interior of SCP-2783 with current grids and grave numbers, consult document/B. The number of graves increasing at a seemingly arbitrary rate, with the apparent borders of the graveyard expanding to accommodate these changes, and new grids beginning as necessary. At time of writing, SCP-2783 contains an estimated 1 million graves. Man, imagine fucking counting them all. I mean, of course, it's probably like they did like, okay, how many meters per meter? You know, they probably did that. The border of SCP-2783 is a fence or other marker that also conforms to customs from the current subject place of birth. All attempts to pass this barrier to date have failed. The apparent climate outside the border of the graveyard appears to match the climate within. Ground-penetrating radar tests indicate that approximately 30% of graves contain human remains. The remaining 70% are unoccupied. The significance of this is unknown. Origins recovery on the 13th of October. Simultaneously, I can see already which one you can highlight. Some of the blocks are a little bit brighter. Maybe you guys don't see it on your side. But this one we can definitely highlight it. Never mind, we cannot. Is it this one? Ah, okay, the black ones we can highlight. Okay. On 13th of October, simultaneous containment failures of one side copies of SCP, and SCP occurred as a cognizant testing was being conducted with AAC and experiments were being conducted with SCP samples. And now we can just do a little quick this. So we have 079, 2522, 2999-A, Marvin, and 1073. Recovered data and audio logs and security footage indicate that SCP, and SCP had pre-coordinated the containment breach through as yet undiscovered means. I think none of these can be, yeah. While a full timeline of events has not yet been established, it has been determined that AIC and SCP provided assistance to site security that proved essential in limiting damage caused by the mass breach. Okay, 1073 again. .AIC was rendered inoperable. All SCP entities were neutralized, and 3 site security personnel were killed as a result of this incident. Following the recovery of the remains of the deceased site security personnel, materials released into the terminated SCP entities and AI construct were moved to the secure locker within Laboratory 37. Following the conclusion of the incident, investigators' shifts, the laboratory was locked. When maintenance personnel attempted to enter the laboratory in order to inspect and clean it, the anomaly was triggered, and site security was notified. Following initial exploration into the anomaly, current containment procedures were put into effect with level 5 security measures being effected following more extensive exploration. And we have 2 notable inscriptions, thus the Black Moon Howl. Hey, we haven't heard that in a while. The Black Moon sings in remembrance of those lost in forgotten wars. Be advised, the following information is limited to personnel with level 4 security clearance. Your access has been locked with the Foundation records and Information Security Administration. The following is a list of gravestone inscriptions deemed noteworthy by the Records on Information Security Administration. A full list can be accessed by authorized personnel by contacting your site Reiser representative. So here we have the grave number, name inscribed, epitaph, and notes. Okay, here we go. So we have grave number AA-00000. Name inscribed is YHWH. He was vital in her construction. His design shall prove vital in her reconstruction. All instances of grave AA Penta-O manifest bearing an inscription memorizing a creator deity. No apparent favoritism of any religion has been observed. Variants have been observed to date. I don't think, is this one? Yeah, it's not one. AA Quad 01, Adam L. Assem. He is memorialized here that he may be remembered for who he was, not what he has become. That's actually kind of nice. Remember who he was, not what he has become. It's a good way of like, if somebody became a bad person, you can still like try to remember the good side of them, which is not easy. Not easy. All iteration of grave AA Quad 01 manifest with the name of a mythical first human or first man. Adam L. Assem has been observed in approximately 70% of explorations. AA Quad 02 Hawa Bat Asherah. The serpent within the library bestowed upon her great wisdom. Her loss inspires us all to seek wisdom in this, the living world. All iterations of grave AA Quad 02 have mentioned a mythical first woman, Hawa Bat Asherah, manifest in approximately 70% of iterations. AA Quad 05 Lilith Bat YHWH. She was loved greatly. Her beauty will not be forgotten. Inscription has remained unchanged in all iterations. AA Quad 06 Set Ben Adam. This grave was constructed under his orders. When those interred here rise again, it is under his command they shall fight. Inscription has remained unchanged in all iterations. AB 21917 Unknown. A craft of the flesh and an disciple of the tongueless speaker. A worthy foe. His final moments were expended on the hordes of the Crimson Crown, and so he is memorialized among the heroes of the people. Later investigation of the grave indicates that the entities inter with possessed biology are typical of baseline humans. AL 21342, which it does say here, Miriam Bat Hannah. Our savior and prophet, our staff and shepherd. The machine gods smile upon this house, and even now those who rest here are tended to. The name listed on the gravestone AL 21343 varies equally between and the significance of this is unknown, which is Miriam Bat Hannah, Yeshua Ben YHWH, and Dr. Sophia Light. And we have another AL 30056, which says Nicholas Flamel. Oh, hey, the alchemist. An esteemed scholar who rose to great heights, but like Icarus, fell from great heights. No evidence of anomalous phenomena associated with this individual has been found to date. AL 41867, which means Lord Theodore Thomas Blackwood. His services to the advancement of science and humanity shall carry on. Love Blackwood, nice. A radar investigation of the grave indicates that a 1.8 meter human skeleton is interred within, but information cannot be obtained without examination of the remains. AM 19186, which says Private Pyotr Avtukov. He and his fellows have been the gates of hell. I've seen the gates of hell, though they do not deserve it. They shall be first to greet the hordes of the Crimson Crown when the gates open. Remains interred within appear incomplete. The significance of this is unknown. AM 19273, Vladislav Soldatov. His stories of the Great War saved more lives than he could have known. Date of birth and date of death are consistent with an individual who served in the Imperial Russian Army and later defected to the Red Army during the Russian Revolution. No records indicate that this individual was involved in anomalous activity. AM 20367. Colonel Theodore Baker. Information has been redacted by order of Reiser. Level 5. Security clearance required. First instance of a grave marker directly referencing information classified at Foundation Security Level 5. This and several grave markers immediately following present an apparent security breach surrounding Operation Hammer and Operation Anvil. Investigation into the source of this breach is ongoing. AM 20381. Rick ARC 437. Information has been redacted by order of Reiser. Level 5 security clearance required. Interred remains appear to be of a machine of indeterminate purpose. AM 21450. Dr. Otto Clef. A loving father, he gave much more than he was demanded of him. The name listed on the gravestone AM 21450 varies equally between and. Date of death listed corresponds to a near containment breach incident that resulted in the death of 2 personnel, including the containment supervisor of SB 450, Dr. Otto Clef, Agent Ukulele, and Adam LSM. Did I read this? Something tells me I did. But I might be wrong. AM 21488. A machine miner gave his life to protect his builders just as the machine gods before him. There will always be a place in paradise for those who gave of themselves as he did. On initial exploration, grave AM 21488 was the most distant from the entrance to SB 2783, indicating it to be the most recent grave to be added. Radar investigation of the grave indicates that it contains computer hardware found missing from a secure locker in Laboratory 37 via drone exploration. Exploration log 926, does the Black Moon howl? The Black Moon howls in mourning for lost children as the survivors arm themselves for war. Level 5 security clearance credentials accepted. New access has been logged with Reiser, welcome, overseer. On the 15th October 2017, a routine exploration of SCP-2783 was being carried out by Agent Philip McLean when Agent McLean noted presence of multiple humanoid entities previously not encountered in SCP-2783. These entities were captured by audiovisual recording equipment. There were 13 total entities recorded, 6 seemingly female and 7 seemingly male. Racial/ethnic profile of the entities was not apparent from either the recording of Agent McLean's testimony. All entities manifested in close proximity to a new grave marker near the border of SCP-2783's interior. All entities wore identical black dress coats and slacks, gray dress shirts, and black ties. All coats bore a coat of arms patch on both shoulders consisting of a white circular shield with 3 equidistant protrusions. Inside the shield were 3 equidistant black arrows piercing a wide circle outlined in black. All entities additionally wore black and white peaked caps bearing the same insignia on the face. Unlike all previous new gravestones manifestation, they were graved in front of the marker, dug approximately 1.8 meters deep. 6 of the entities manifested bearing an unadorned casket. The 7 remaining entities were manifested carrying bolt-action rifles of unknown make. The entities were recorded marching in a tight formation to the grave side. Upon reaching the grave side, the entities bearing the casket methodically lowered the casket into the grave as the entities bearing rifles stepped inside in single file, assuming the position of present arms upon stopping. When the entities lowering the casket completed, they rendered hand salutes as the entities bearing rifles carried out a 3-volley salute. Following this, all entities marched in a single file to the gate of SCP-2783, where they demanifested. Upon later inspection, the new gravesite appeared undisturbed. It's almost like a military funeral. Breakdown of the inscription on the grave mark is included below. Grave number AM 21530, Captain Kari Michelle Hollis, Mobile Task Force 9. She died in a strange and faraway place with a smile on her face, a weapon in her hand, and foes on all sides. She exemplified what all warriors should strive to be. Exploration 926 occurred 48 hours following the extrication of over a dozen Foundation personnel from SCP-2730, immediately prior to its neutralization. Captain Hollis went missing during this extrication and is presumed killed in action. It is unknown at this time if the remains' interests in SCP-2783 correspond to Captain Hollis. Possible exhumation is currently under Ethics Committee review. Whew! What an interesting idea, though. Like, again, this does sound like there's a lot of like, a lot of them sound like good people. You know, like yeah, it's just like none of them sound like an asshole in this. Blackwood is of course like the as I did see what the Customer was writing, that Blackwood was like the slug, and I remember like and the slug was very like a kind-hearted slug adventurer. So it does seem like all of these are people who were pretty good. You know, they did great stuff. Like even like the Captain Kari at the end was like, she died in a strange and faraway place with a smile on her face, weapon in her hand and foes on all sides. She exemplified what all warriors should strive to be. It seems like there's like almost like a graveyard for like Lamentation of a Clockwork goddess as well. That's interesting name. We'll look something in the discussion page real quick. Okay, let me read what you guys are saying. I love Blackwood. Blackwood's the Explorer, English Sea Slug, by the way. Yep. SB450 is the death cell block. Abandoned federal penitentiary. By the way, yes, I know you already knew that, but I wanted to say it. Doesn't SCP-1867 also have the SCP name A Gentleman as well? I meant isn't and doesn't. And I must admit as well, I think SCP is unique. SCP-1730 is the big SCP about Site 13. Clockwork Goddess is probably talking about. Like, okay. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. That makes a lot more sense. So there's definitely there's a lot of connections here, definitely to other SCPs, which is nice. I like that. The visual idea is also pretty cool. I mean, like fucking hell, 1 million gravestones. Dude, can you imagine? Can you imagine seeing that? God, that's impressive. Pardon me for the burping. Yeah, damn. And McCain, yeah, that definitely makes sense now.